Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Dalton. I'm here with Skills Canada, Saskatchewan to help you guys experience some stuff and get some stuff started with some coding and professional development. This is the first and introductory session. I just kind of want to introduce you to myself and to Skills Saskatchewan and to these kits that have been sent out. Our goals for today and for this session, again, a very brief introduction to Skills Saskatchewan, an introduction to robotics and coding and who I am, some plans for how we're going to cover these sessions, some general terms and components. We'll take a look at the kits that we have that we sent out here, and we'll get through a little bit of the basic kind of using a MicroBit and do some general uploading. From there, we'll talk about what everything looks like in the future. So let's start with who we are. So Skills Canada Saskatchewan is an organization who promotes the skilled trades and technologies in various fields. They do an awful lot of work trying to engage more people in these areas, and they do some amazing things. For this particular portion, this is a robotics and coding based. I'm Dave Dalton. I am the Provincial Technical Committee Chair for the Mobile Robotics Committee and I'm also the National Technical Committee Chair for Skills Canada with mobile robotics. I was asked to kind of go through and give some pointers here and work out how we're going to do some of this stuff and figure out a way to help more students experience this and provide more opportunities to our students, which I think is a fantastic thing. A little bit about myself. I've been teaching in northern Saskatchewan in the town of Isle Cross, or the village of Isle Cross, for 11 years now. We started here with no robotics program, no coding or anything when I got here. And we've built it up to quite a substantial program here now. We run a robotics team every year. We offer a couple classes each year. We do an awful lot of the coding. We do an awful lot of building from scratch. You can see in the background here, I'm kind of sitting in my robotics lab doing this. We have some 3D printers where we do 3D printing of equipment and stuff. We build very small robots to very large robots, all from scratch. Now, that's the point we're at now. But we didn't start here. We started at a very similar location as most people, and very similar to what we're doing here. We got sent a kit for free, and we got a couple students involved, started small, built a couple robots from that kit. Kids liked it, so we decided to grow it. We put more and more effort in, and we eventually grew to what it is now. We have an awful lot of experience here, put in a lot of hard work. There were ups and downs and challenges, but I can tell you it's absolutely 100% worth it. Was really excited when Colin approached me to help out with this, particularly because I really love this stuff, but I really want more students to have the opportunity to do this. So this is going to be fantastic. I'm super excited. I wish it could be in person, but with COVID and everything going around, I guess this will do. There are a few things that we're going to go through. There's going to be some stuff that's pretty technical, some stuff that's not so technical. But the main thing that I really want to pass on to people is just to keep trying and keep going. The students can experience amazing things here. They can learn a ton of stuff. There's all sorts of things that can really help them, and they can help learn from and connect to all sorts of different curricula and all this sort of stuff, but really provide students with a really great opportunity to learn, to have some fun, and just experience what things, experience another set of things, I guess. And yeah, it can be built pretty strongly. You can start from nothing and build it to phenomenal things, or it can go the other way. I mean, it's going to take some effort. There's going to be ups and downs, but I do want to let you all know, if you need help, just reach out. I'm going to provide you with my email information and all that stuff to contact me towards the end here. But if you need any help with any of this stuff, reach out. Like I say, I have a lot of experience with this stuff. And I want more people into it. So with that being said, let's really quickly take a look at what these sessions are going to be. So first off, with this session, this is going to be very introductory, kind of getting used to some of the terms, some of the things we're using, how to do some things, even identifying different parts and components. Then the next session, we're going to start actually going into more activities. We're going to do some basic, just MicroBit activities. So stuff you need very, very little equipment for. And then we'll progress up as we go. There's also some hope to do some live interactive sessions or live meetings throughout the time, so we can actually connect and build this support structure that we really want to have. All that information is going to come whenever we figure out dates and all that stuff. But we're hoping to have some group meetings, and if there's even one-on-one meetings that you might want for some ideas or to help you out, just let me know. We'll figure all that out. But these recorded sessions are going to be pretty much just walkthroughs of some activities, of some things you can do here. It will not be the be-all end-all for sure. There's an awful lot of stuff here. And the only real limit that I've ever come across is the limit of the imagination of the students. So we're going to have a lot of experience here, and hopefully we get some more people doing robotics or some coding or anything, you know. Ultimate dream, I would love to see way more schools and way more students doing some robotic competitions, doing coding activities in their classes, and just really experiencing this. But really, the sky's the limit here. If we want, but we got to start somewhere. And I just want to really hope, or sorry, I really just hope that we can provide some opportunities to some students. Competition or not, that doesn't matter nearly as much to me. What really matters is getting these kids some opportunities to learn and experience some things and have some fun while doing it. So with that being said, let's actually start taking a look at some of these, well, these kits that we sent out. I'm just going to switch over to my other camera here. And all right, so here we are. So we'd sent out through Skills Canada and Skills Saskatchewan here, these two kits. Well, this one kit. There's the Climate Action Kit, which has a whole bunch of information in it and a lot of different parts. This is going to become important, but not in this session. We'll get to that and I'll show you where that comes from. Here's a little bit of a Skills for Success kind of one-pager from Skills Canada, and some more information on where these kits come from. We then have all sorts of different components. We have motors and wheels, we have a breakout board, we have all sorts of different sensors and things here. We'll get into these more whenever we get into the actual activities that we're using these. But to start off, I want to focus just on this bag. So I'm going to set this piece aside. And this is the bag I want to start off with. So this is the MicroBit bag. Now, MicroBit is a particular type of microcontroller. Think of it as a little brain that we can program to do things. It also comes with a USB cable and battery pack and some general information packaging and getting started stuff. We're going to go through pretty much everything in here within either this session or the next session for the basics for what this guy can really do. I do want to take another minute here and show you some different examples of microcontrollers. So this is a MicroBit. This is what we're focusing on here. Another very popular one is the Arduino. It looks something like this. We can have all sorts of different things. There's some Raspberry Pi based, there's Parallax Basic Stat based, there's all sorts of different bases and different boards and different things. They all have different strengths and weaknesses. All of them are great. And eventually, you know, the more you get used to using one, so like I say, we're starting with this guy, the MicroBit, with this kit. Eventually, once you're really comfortable with that, maybe you'll want to do some other stuff where an Arduino Uno will be better. And that's fine. That's actually phenomenal to be growing and expanding. But we're going to focus entirely on this little guy, the MicroBit. The MicroBit is a very simple, kind of self-contained guy. On the front, sorry, these are MicroBit V2s. If you look in the back, it says a V2, which makes a little bit of a difference over the MicroBit V1s. These have a few more capabilities. On the front here, we see an LED grid of 25 lights, so it's a 5x5. We have a button labeled A and a button labeled B. You can zoom in. We have the MicroBit logo here, which is actually a touch sensor, tiny little microphone there. These down at the bottom are input-output pins. Each of them have different numbers and values and purposes. On the back here, you'll see an awful lot of crazy stuff. Here we have the battery pack, which this provided battery pack plugs right into. We also have the USB cord here, or the USB port, which connects right to this USB cord. That's how we're going to connect it to the computer. This button here is the reset button to restart everything. And then there's a few different sensors here. There's a Bluetooth antenna and a radio antenna here. There's some speakers, there's different processors, accelerometers, compasses, all sorts of different stuff, all within this guy. Now, this guy is a pretty introductory microcontroller. It's phenomenal, got some real power to it, to a point. I like these because they have a lot of things already built in. They have an awful lot of different sensors and things already built in, so you don't need a lot of extra stuff. That's why we're going to spend a little while talking specifically about this guy and just what you can do with just this guy without using any of the other components in the kit. I'm going to take you through some ideas for what to use them for, but really, I'm just going to show you different sensors, different things that you can use here. A couple activities, but it's going to be up to you guys to really then kind of grasp this and run with it a little bit. Now, let's get to the programming and coding of this. So this is a MicroBit. And with the MicroBit, we need to figure out how to code it. Each different microcontroller has its own different coding language, style, everything. For the MicroBit, it actually uses something called make code. So if you just go to Google and Google up MicroBit, it'll take you here and there should be a make code option. If you click on that, it takes you to a screen that looks something like this. You might have to create an account and sign in. But it takes you to a screen that looks like this. We would start with a new project because we just want a brand new project here, which I've already started for me. It's called Basics. And we'll see this is something called a block-based environment. This allows us to click and drag and build blocks for exactly what we want it to do. If you want to see it done out in the text-based language, you can just click over to the JavaScript here or to Python, either one. For what we're going to focus on, we're just going to focus on the blocks. On the left-hand side of this screen here, you'll see it actually has a simulator for what's going to happen with your MicroBit. For this guy, what we have started, I'm just going to delete this string here. We have these two basic start blocks. One says on start. So when you first turn this on, it's going to do everything in the on start once. It will run that through one full time. And then it's going to go over to this forever option, and it will keep doing whatever's under the forever continuously. To show you what I mean here, I'm just going to find a block to say hello. And I'm going to click it and drag it into the on start here. Now this drags it. Once you hear that little click, it all factors in. And you'll see whenever we start this over here, it does exactly what the on start says. It says hello. And then it doesn't do anything. Well, that's because we don't have anything in this forever option. Maybe I'm going to put in, maybe I want it to show some LEDs. And I'm just going to click kind of random spots here and see what we want to put in. I'm going to give it a second here and it will automatically start. So we see this on start, it does that hello, and then it does this. It just turns these LEDs on because that's all I've told it to do. I can tell it to do anything else I want it to do. Maybe we show those LEDs, then we can clear that screen. I can show a different icon here. Maybe we go with a sad face. And then maybe we'll clear the screen again. And see, all of this is just a click and drag, click and drag. And it's all about building the blocks. It's like building Legos, right? You build things on top of each other. These MicroBits will do exactly what they're told to do in the exact order that they find here. So if we go and we look here now, when we start, it says hello because we've told it to say hello. And then it goes through this forever. It just keeps linking all of this down. And it's showing what it's doing in the simulator here. Now, I don't want you to get too crazy with any of these different options here right now. I just wanted to show you a couple of the basic blocks. And now comes the time where we have to get it onto our physical MicroBit. So how do we do that? Well, we need to, let me just share my full screen here. we do need to connect this via USB cord. In there. You'll see this guy already is doing something because there's already a code on it. But when I connect it, it pops up this MicroBit drive in my file explorer. If it doesn't pop up, you just open your file explorer and down here on the side, it will say MicroBit. Now, what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to download this using this big purple button. Will come up saying download complete, and then it will show what we need to do. I'm going to click done here. I'm going to go into my downloads folder, and I'm also going to open up that MicroBit folder. This is the one that we just downloaded, the MicroBit Basics 1. I'm going to click and drag it over to the MicroBit. It's going to take a minute or two here. And then we'll see what actually happens on the MicroBit. It says hello, like we want it to, and then it does those shifting LED screens, just like we have it up here. I hope this helps everybody with getting the program onto the MicroBit. That's one of the very key first steps. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time putting too much more into here. If you want, you can play around with all of these different things. So in this program here, this make code for the MicroBit, we can just delete things here by clicking on them and pushing the delete button. We can put them all back by finding them. The forever and the on start, they're the blue ones. They tend to be under the basic here. No, forever, on start is right here. A lot of these ones are the basic commands. They're found in the blue, or at least blue on my screen, under the basic here. You'll see there's a lot of different things here. We'll go through all sorts of different things that we can use here. But this is the basic. We'll also go through things called inputs, which are when we use the sensors or the buttons, even the different accelerometry, light, all sorts of stuff in here. We can say music, where we can actually make it play a sound. We can turn on the different LEDs here. We can use some radio control. We can use different loops, different variables, all sorts of different math. And then there's some more advanced options. What I would encourage you to do right now is play around with some of these basic guys and see what you can make the MicroBit do with just focusing on some of the LEDs. We don't need to focus too much yet on anything else. We will in the next sessions. But right now, I would start focusing on some of these. Make it say hello. You could wear it or make it as a little name tag for yourself and say, my name is Jim, if your name is Jim. If it's not Jim, that wouldn't be a very good name tag for you. But with all of that, and we can change all of this however we want. We can make it do all sorts of different little things. We can show, maybe I'm going to put this show arrow north and just see how well it works. But play around with this a little bit. I think that's where we're really going to learn a lot. And in the next session, we will progress from there. This is all I want to do in this session right now. Very, very briefly kind of overview of this MicroBit and getting a program onto it. In the next sessions now, we're going to progress into a couple of different activities. So the next one, maybe 2 sessions. We're going to do a few activities using just the MicroBit. We'll talk about some different sensors in there, some different things we can use. Then further down the road, we're going to get into the rest of those components in those kits that we sent out. And hopefully down the road, we'll do some face-to-face meetings, maybe over Zoom, some meetings to create this community and make some connections between everybody. If you have any comments or questions at this point in time, or at any point in time, really, feel free to contact me. My email is there. It's ddalton@icsd.ca. Anytime with any questions, feel free to give me a shout, and we will see you in the next session. I hope anyway.